Hello and good morning from New York City. My name is Omoye Leshore. As part of a secret meeting that happened between Deputy Minister of Defense in Nigeria, Musi Leo Obanikoro, in that meeting was also now Governor Fayose of Ekiti State, and also a Minister of Police Affairs, including a would-be governorship candidate of Osun State, Iyola Omishore. This meeting happened between these politicians and a military brigadier general by the name Aliyu Momo, who is from Kogi State in Nigeria. But the captain sat as an intelligence officer on that meeting and recorded this very explosive conversation that you must have heard about on Sahara Reporters. And we have the privilege of bringing him to you today to talk about what he did, how he did it, to you on our Sahara TV broadcast today. So we had to interrupt this program to talk to Colonel Sagir Koli, who is in hiding somewhere. Hello, Colonel. You are welcome to Sahara TV.
Yeah, you are welcome too.
Thank
Correction,
you.
I'm not a colonel, I'm a captain.
Sorry, I apologize. You are Captain Sagir Koli.
Yeah.
So you probably have known extensively that since your audio recording of a meeting that happened during the Ekiti election was released, there's been a lot of conversation, including deniers from officers who were there. Tell us very briefly how you came about recording this conversation between Obanikoro, Iyola Omishore, and Governor Fayose of Ekiti State during the election.
Thank you very much. As you all know, I was detailed here officially as the Brigade Intelligence Officer. My primary responsibility was to gather intelligence on how the election is to be conducted peacefully. Since we entered Ekiti, that was 3 days to the election. That is when I realized that a lot of compromise has been made between my commander and those guys in question. It reached a peak stage, a day to the election, when we were called, though commander was called directly, that the State Minister of Defense want to see him. And he asked me to accompany him to the place. And it is customary in the military, if a senior officer is going for any assignment, the junior ones accompanied him, which I did. So reaching Spotless Hotel in Ado, Ekiti, we entered a room. Then I saw the State Minister of Defense, the current Minister of Police Affairs, Omishore, and Fayose were already in the room that we entered. So going by what had been happening, so I believed and I thought that this should be a venue that the whole compromise is going to be completed. That what necessitated my recording of the discussion, because I've been unhappy throughout prior to the meeting.
So can you tell us exactly the day the meeting happened?
It happened on the 19th or 20th. I cannot. A day before the election, on the 20th. On the 20th, yeah, on the 20th.
It sounded that
the election was held on the 21st, so yes. It happened on the 20th, yeah.
Before the election.
June 2014.
Okay, so when you recorded this, it was apparent that your brigadier general, that's your commander, was under a lot of pressure in that meeting. What did they do to him when he walked in for him to have become so jittery and afraid?
Well, I wouldn't know their discussion prior to that meeting. I only witnessed what they've discussed in the meeting, and I learned that They were all on him, bouncing on him. From their mood, you could see that it is something that they might have discussed prior to their coming to Ado Ekiti. Probably they must have planned how to go about it, and they are not happy with what was going on ground according to them, or they say all those things to push him to do better. And I want to believe that they push him so that he will do better than what he has been doing. It could be the reason why they were pushing him to that level. However, I've realized that there is no way he could have exonerated himself from the compromise, because they have planned it before even his arrival to take over command in 32 Artillery Brigade, Akure.
When did he take over command at 32 Artillery Brigade in Akure?
A month to the election. The incumbent commander was Brigadier General A.M. Diko, was the substantive commander of the brigade. He was the one who started the reconnaissance. He wrote an operational report. He went to the army headquarters in Abuja and presented that report. Coming back to the brigade, he called us. I was his intelligence officer. He called the operation officer and told us, look, gentlemen, from the brief I have received, it is apparent that I may not be the person that will handle this election. It came as a surprise to us. 3 weeks to the election, we saw a signal changing him, or rather relieving him from his appointment, and General Momo was brought in. And they said that he should go back to 31 Artillery Brigade, Mina. And that is what happened. And when he came, he asked us to work with him fine. And as a military tradition, if there is change on command, you don't have option than to be loyal. I was so open. I've told him everything that we have done to make sure that the election goes smoothly. But you know, when we entered Ekiti State, I started seeing a different thing. And the commander said, this is his direction, and we have to follow him. He is working for the presidency. He said it categorically that, look, I'm working for the presidency, and anything I'm doing, follow my direction. You people should follow me. That is what, necessitated me, started thinking of compromise in this election. Then as it goes on, calls were coming from Abuja, calls are coming from Ayofayoshe and his team on ground, and commander was changing directives, in fact, floating the operational order itself, asking all the troops to work with the PDP talks to make sure that his given assignment is done.
Yes. Let me ask you, when on the ground as an intelligence officer, what did you do with General Momo? What did he ask you guys to do specifically, apart from what you recorded in the audio, which was for 37 minutes? What are the other things that happened on the ground to show that this election was rigged operationally, as General Momo was brought in to do, that you can tell our audience?
Okay, my role is advisory role as an intelligence officer. We have tactical commanders on ground who have covered the 16 local governments in Ekiti State. Each local government was assigned a major or a captain with soldiers to cover that area adequately, okay?
Yes.
Now, those tactical commanders were given specific directives on what to do. What they have done was, they have some contacts, the PDP and their team, they have what they call contacts. Those contacts are PDP supporters or PDP talks. What the commanders were ordered was, they should work directly with those contacts, and they make sure whatever those contacts want, they should do it. That was the directives he gave. After giving the directives, we went round the 16 local governments to ensure compliance from the tactical commanders themselves.
How many soldiers can you tell, as an intelligence officer, were involved in covering the whole of Ekiti 16 local governments?
Officers and soldiers, 1,006 troops.
1,006 troops.
Yeah.
These people worked with PDP contacts to ensure that the election was favorable to Ayo Fayose.
Exactly. Additionally, an officer was sent from 82 Division Enugu, from 82 Best Ammunition Depot, Major Ujong, with as captain and below, with Chief Chris Uba. They entered Ekiti and they were assembled in our FOB, Forward Operational Base, adjacent Ekiti State Government House. He was there. Then he was given a task force. The task force composed of the military component, police, mobile police, security operatives from the DSS. Yes. And they were asked to go and work with the PDP contacts in the 16 local government areas. Additionally, a sticker was designed and a handband that on the election day, ordinarily and constitutionally, we restrict movement on election day from 0600 to 1800 hours till elections were held, till votes were cast, collection, then to collation center, then to the INEC headquarters for counting. Then those stickers were given to the PDP supporters that anybody, any vehicle seen without sticker, it should be allowed unlimited access to move freely on the election day, and that was what was done.
In the audio that you recorded, there was a point where your commander said, "Do you want me to cry?" What happened to him at that point? Why did he want to cry?
They threatened him. They threatened him that, look, if he didn't comply, and that he is the key to this election, that he is either he go with them, comply, and do what they want him to do, or else he cannot be promoted to Major General. He even Obanikoro even threatened him that, look, your promotion has to come to my table as Minister of Defense, and I will sit on your file and you will not get promoted. And if this thing is flown, you know the consequence. You are a military officer. The Chief of Army Staff is aware. The presidency is aware. So work with us. So when they threatened him, he said, look, I've been doing your work since I entered Ekiti. And if you want me to cry, I can cry. That is what he said. Because of that threat issued to him.
You mentioned now that the other person in the room is the current Minister of Police Affairs. Is that Jelili Adesina?
Definitely.
Okay, because your audio file referred to Olubolade, who was the captain.
Never Olubolade is the present and current
Jelili Adesina. Okay.
Jelili Adesina. Yeah.
All right. So, do you know if General Momo has been promoted?
I'm not aware. Since I left them, I'm not in touch with what is happening.
All right. That's just aside. Specifically, did you, in the course of the election itself, see ballot stuffing, ballot rigging carried out by the PDP contacts and the army?
Well, I have to be frank with you. I've not seen it myself. I told you I'm an advisory officer to the commander.
Yes.
The tactical commander should be able to say that because they witnessed the movement. Okay.
All right. Yes.
I'm always at the FOB with the commander, or I go around, or I
Yeah, we actually saw a video of you standing behind the commander when you arrested some ballot papers 10 days before the election.
That was prior to the election.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What happened is that one was arrested before the election, and the then REC commissioner, Resident Electoral Commissioner Alhaji Ali Lupai, I could remember vividly. Yes. He was invited that this is what was arrested. Our men at Ifon, that is border from Ekiti to Osun State.
Yes.
Okay. Now the Resident Electoral Commissioner said those are condemned INEC material for 2011 election. And they have sold it out as condemned material, and they asked those people to evacuate it so that they could get a free space to, to store the new materials for the election. And that was ironed out. Even I think the INEC headquarters in Abuja responded to that effect, and I don't think there is any issue with regard to that.
It will be interesting to know what happened when Fayose eventually won the election, and I'm sure you were still in Ekiti. How was it like after the election was delivered to him as planned?
He was very happy, and Commander went and met him, and they said, "Okay, now I'm telling you that I will deliver, and now you can see it." He said, "Okay, that he's grateful." We left.
When in your audio, there was a point where Banikoro said, give him the token. You can give him the token and let him go. How much was the token that was given to your commander at that point?
I cannot specifically say how much it is, because I've seen so many bags, in the hotel we stay. I'm not in position to ask my commander how much is it, from where and how. I'm not in position.
Which hotel did you guys stay in Ekiti? I mean, you and your commander.
Pardon?
Which hotel were you staying? Where your own forward FOB hotel?
Oh, okay. I've forgotten the name of that hotel, but it's along Fayose Estate side. Jewel Hotel.
So you were staying at Jewel Hotel. That's where all the Ghana Must Go bags was coming to your commander.
Yeah. We stayed there.
But it wasn't the commander sometimes nice to you guys, where he said, "Look, you're working hard. Take this for your own good care too." Doesn't he share? Is this such a miser? He didn't share anything with you guys?
No, he has paid the troops their operation allowance. Okay. As contained in the operational order.
Okay.
Then a day to the election again, he shared another money to the troops. Officers, 30,000, men, 5,000 each. He said this one is welfare for them to do the right thing during the election. Then after the election too, the troops, ordinarily, and as part of the regimentation, everybody who has participated for the election has to assemble for head count to know that we are exactly 1,006 troops. And before his final address, then when everybody gathered in FOB, he also declared that every soldier should be given another 5,000 for work well done.
Now let's go to what happened to you after you made this recording. At what point did you start to have problem after making the recording? Did you report to the higher authorities? How did you get into trouble for recording this audio?
Okay, that was, when the election was concluded, the next election was
Osun
State election, okay?
Yes.
Now, Osun State is not part of operational ground for 32 Artillery Brigade from the beginning. We covered only Ondo and Ekiti State as part of our area of responsibility.
Jurisdiction, as they say in
yes. That's what you call AOR in the military, area of responsibility. Anything outside it is not your business. Maybe another unit will take care of that.
Yes.
But because of what has happened in Ekiti State, those guys were happy. They said, okay, General Momo should take over command of Osun State. There is an Nigerian Army Engineer Construction Regiment right in Osun State at Ede, commanded by Brigadier General Adeyemi. Then, I don't know who is the commander now. Anyway, then he was asked to hand over the command to General Momo till after election, and he was given 3 weeks compulsory leave, and he has to proceed, and we took over the command. He said, look, Koli, you have done well in Ekiti State. I need the same thing. I want you to replicate the same thing in Osun State. Go ahead for Reki. I did. I was there with my team. We are
How
on
many
recce.
people?
I have 13 intelligence operatives attached to me.
Okay.
I'm the OC, commanding officer of the 32 Artillery Brigade. I have soldiers under me, okay?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to Reiki now, when it comes to planning, preparation,
Reiki
you have
as
to
in
get
reconnaissance.
information and convert that information to intelligence.
Yes.
Then you now say, sir, this is the threat on ground, and this is how I think we can curtail it, okay?
Yes.
I was there, I was doing the Reiki. Commander traveled to Abuja. He called me that, how far? You know, I briefed him, usual, it's normal.
Yes.
Now, coming back to Osun State, he told me that we are going, I was thinking maybe there could be change of tactics. Or he has realized that what we have done in Ekiti State is highly unprofessional, maybe we will change here. He told me that we are going to repeat the same thing we did in Ekiti State. I said, sir, you mean we hand over troops again to
PDP?
PDP? He said, my friend, what are you talking about? As I'm telling you now, I'm from the presidency, and this is the directives, and people will follow my direction. And I said, then there is problem, and I don't think I will be part of it. Now, it happens, you know, that time there was Salah break. I told him, okay, I want to go to my home and celebrate with my people. He said, okay, I can go ahead, but I have to come back in time and continue. You know that this election is coming after Salah. So I felt that then I have my recorded something.
Yes.
I said the best thing to deal with this thing is to tell the APC so that they will raise alarm.
Yes.
Now, my family stayed in Kaduna. I reached Kaduna, I tried to see General Buhari because I thought that he's a retired military officer. If I give him this information, he knows what it means and he knows the implication. So I felt that he should be the only one I should give this information because I regard it as sensitive. Effort for me to see him prove abortive. I came back to my location. I continued with my things, okay? Now, a friend of mine who accompanied me to see if we can see the general and we could not, he told me that he has a person that can link me to somebody that if I talk to, that one will talk to the general direct, and the general, I said, forget this thing, forget it. Now he called me back again that he has contacted somebody who will now link me to the general. I said, okay, who is the person? I said, who is the person? He said, okay, there's somebody in Lagos, the APC leader, that I should see him, that he will connect me to the general. I said, no, I can't reveal this thing to a pure civilian who has not been in the military. Is too derogatory. Yes. He said, no, I should not worry. You know, I was like I said, no, I won't do it. If general is available, I will just hand over this thing to him. He will work on it. That is just it. I'm just doing it to make the military apolitical and let it remain a professional army. Okay? Yeah. He said, no. He assured me. I said, no, I won't do it. Then I was on my recce. I had a call that please, I should come and see the national leader of APC. I said, no, I can't hand over this sensitive information to somebody who has not been in the military before. He insisted. I said, okay, we can go ahead. He now called the APC national leader. And he connected me to him. I said, who am I speaking with? He said, I'm so person. I said, okay. Am I the one that wants to know that I know what happened in Ekiti? I said, yeah. Where are you now? I said, I'm in Osun. He said, okay, interesting. Please, can we see? I said, no, we can't see because I'm busy. He said, we have to see, please. I said, no, we can't see. He, the person now went back and told him that he said he's busy, that he can't see. Then if that friend again called me that even if it is Saturday, why not you create time? You say you want to help because of your nation. You want to help? I say yes, and I'm ready to help. And what I want is security of the source. You have to protect me as your source of information. I'm unafraid. to give such an information to somebody that has not been in the military. I repeated. He said I shouldn't worry. You know, he pushed me. I said, okay, let's meet. So we met. He said, what happened? I told him. He said, you sure? I said, that is what happened. He said, did I have evidence? I said, this thing I'm telling you, I've even recorded it. He said, wonderful. Can I show him the recording? I said, no, I cannot. I can only give the general this recording. He said, okay. It's only general. I said, yeah. He said, okay. You will speak to the general the next day. I think he flown to Kaduna. The next day, he called me and he connected me to the general. I said, sir, I've been looking for you. He said, you come to Kaduna, you come to my house. I said, I was in your house, but the protocols were too much. He said, okay. They told me something. I said, yes, sir. I said, but it's only you that I will give that information. He said, okay, what is it? I told him again. I repeated myself. He said, wonderful. He said, you have it recorded. I said, yes, sir, I have it recorded, but it's only you that I will give. He said, okay, he's grateful. But now that I'm there, he's in Kaduna and he can't come here. He can't meet me in Oshun because, you know, of his position as a political figure in the country. He said, okay, since I have given him that respect, why not I hand over this thing to the national leader? They will meet, and they will meet and they will discuss the whole thing. And that's what happened.
So you handed, at this point, you handed over to the national leader of the APC?
No.
Okay. So what happened afterwards? So how did you process the recording? How did you get it out? And at which point did you start to think about danger to your life and left Nigeria?
All right. You know, he said, the general said, okay, that I don't know the sort of information. Maybe probably they booked my lines. I want to believe so. They booked my lines. And, you know, when the next day, he told me that some of you are moons among us. We are working for the presidency, but some of you are working against it. Some of you have some conversation with some other top politicians. We are watching you, but before somebody will kill me, I will kill that person.
Wow,
I know
that is General Momo threatening you now.
That is his words. He said, before somebody will kill me, I will kill that person. Then, you know, in the night, they held a meeting. The military police officer who is retired now, Captain Abe Kalio, in the morning, he met me in my hotel room. He said, Koli, what happened? Commander was boiling. Commander was highly upset. What happened? I said, what did he tell you? I don't know what happened. He said he's going to deal with you decisively. I said, okay, no problem. Then in the morning, you know, we have to hold brief, okay?
Yes.
We have to hold brief for commander every day, and I'm the intelligence officer. I will be the one to give him the situational report first. Now, before then, they directed an officer to come and handcuff me and tie me and take me to Ibadan 2 Division. The officer happened to be my friend. He called me while was on his way to Oshobo. He said, Koli, what happened? Have you killed somebody there? I said, no, sir. He said, what is it that they directed me? Now I have to move and come and tie you, handcuff you, and take you to Ibadan. I said, I don't know, sir. From then, I know there's a serious threat to my life. Somebody say he will kill me. Somebody in the morning was telling me somebody was upset. Then the person they ordered to come and make that arrest, you can't handcuff or tie an officer unless you commit a heinous crime. Okay? I felt threatened. I know that these people are going to harm me, and only God knows. From there, I told them, gentlemen, I want to ease myself. That is when I went out from the conference, entered my vehicle, all my things, my belongings, my uniform, my any other thing, my laptop, the operational orders, everything about the election, and all the information I had was in my system and my files because they were all there. I have to run for my life.
So you left on that day?
On that day when that officer, who is my friend, I will not mention his name.
No, yeah, yes, because apparently he's still there.
When he called me, I have to leave. I know there is a serious danger, so I have to leave.
Yes. So after you left, at what point did you now start to release the audio to, whomever helped you process this before it got to us?
I told that my friend that I will drop this thing somewhere. He should go and pick it and take it to any person he thinks he will take it to.
And you did that?
Yeah.
Okay. So then they came, they couldn't find you. Then they did something to your family. What happened next?
They now went back to barracks. I was staying with my brother. Akure, 32 Artillery Brigade, Akure, Owena Cantonment.
Okay.
Yeah. My brother was staying with me there, Adamu, 15 years old. He's schooling in Army Children's School there, secondary school. He was staying in my house. When they could not see me that day and they know I fled, they went and arrested my brother.
Wow.
And they were asking him, and he didn't know anything about it. A small boy, a civilian, he can't know what's up. So they arrested him, they interviewed him. He said he don't know anything about it. I only told him I'm going for an assignment in Osun State, and which I did. So they arrested him, and he was detained for 5 months or thereabouts.
One question that the public would like to ask, because is that when you contacted the APC leadership, did they bribe you? Did they give you money to say, yeah, you are a man now, to do this, we'll pay you off? Were you giving money by?
No, we did not even. I have not even given them, a chance to even meet. I was busy with the Reiki in Osun State.
Okay.
Okay. So we've not even met to even say, okay, take this. We've not even met like this. To even see me was a problem. I said, it's my childhood friend who pushed me to do it.
Yeah.
So we've not even met. I left them on 3rd of August.
Yes.
They know the record are there.
So okay? you left that place 3rd of August. So you didn't participate in the elections in Osun State.
While I've been with them, I've been with the troops, and you can find out from the troops. My soldiers, they know that I'm with them.
Yeah. So since you left, have they tried to reach you? Have they tried to find you? Have you been in touch with any one of them? Threatened you directly or indirectly?
Who, the military guys?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've not met with any of them, but I used to hear that they came to my house to look for my dad at midnight, and my dad, relocated to another house. He built a new house, so he relocated from our former house to the new house. So they went to the old house. They only met the watchman there, and they asked him. He said, no, he has left, and he didn't know where they went to. So he now reported to my dad that. Yes. This is what happened. Soldiers came here. Then my family, I have a wife and 2 kids.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
They even went to my house where my wife stayed to check on her. And unfortunately, she's doing her master's. She's at school. So they couldn't meet anybody in the house, and they left. And they told me all that. I said, okay, for what? For what? Why are they looking for my family?
Do you feel like your effort in exposing this and disagreeing with your commanders helped in making it impossible to rig in Osun State? Do you feel that way?
Definitely, that is what helped not rigging Osun State election. I want to believe so.
Also, would it not be interesting to find out if there are soldiers that you work with in the field who feel the same way you feel? That, the military is unprofessional, they shouldn't be engaging in election rigging?
Yeah. Virtually, if not all, 2/3 of the soldiers that involved in that election knew what we did. But let me be specific.
Yes.
The officers who participated in that election, I don't think there is one officer that was happy with what had happened in Ekiti State.
Wow, so all the senior officers that had to do the dirty job, they were not happy.
The officers, because they know better than the soldiers.
There's another question that people ask us when they hear the audio, that, how do bloody civilians, as they call them, hold an army brigadier general to ransom? And were you guys not with your weapons when you went into that room at Spotless Hotel?
No, you know, if commander want to enter into a meeting like that, the armed guards will stay at the door of the conference room.
Okay. So you didn't have any weapons on you, and the commander didn't have even a pistol?
No, we are officers. We have soldiers that go with us
Okay.
who are armed, okay?
But you were not armed yourselves? You and the commander?
No, we are not armed. We always move with, he's a commander. He has a full escort attached to him.
No problem.
24/7.
Yes. So, of course, you've heard that Obanikoro says this was manipulated. Fayose said this never happened. They are all denying. What do you have to say to their denial of your recorded tape?
They can't deny it. They will only deny it to mislead the populace. Okay?
Yes.
They will only deny it to mislead the populace. They can't deny it. Why I'm saying that is, even the clothes they wore, I know the clothes they wore, and the people that were there, even the officers, they are still serving. There is Major Aliyu from 19th Battalion was part of that meeting. Captain Adegoke was part of that meeting too. So they can't deny it. All those officers
which department was Adegoke from, Captain Adegoke from?
He was in Army Public Relations.
So he was in that spotless hotel room with you
in the room,
and Brigadier General Momo when they were harassing him.
They can't tell you, even if you call them now, they will deny all that. But that they were in that meeting. In that recording, you had the voice of Major Aliyu. In that, you had his voice telling Commander, yes. Commander will ask, have you so? He said, yes, sir, we have done it. That is that was his voice.
Okay, you see, after the whole incident in that spotless hotel, what happened next? You know, like having been totally ridiculed by these civilians, Obanikoro, Omishore, and Fayose, how did you guys feel after you left that meeting as soldiers? You know, to just having been.
No, I felt bad. Okay. If you could listen to the recordings very well, you heard some of my voice raising, okay?
Yes.
I wanted to react, but commander would tell me no. And, you know, if once commander said no, I can't talk militarily.
Yes. Give us a description of the room. Give us a description of this meeting. Just a quick description. Where were you guys standing? Who was standing up? Who was sitting? How were they located? You know, Omishore, Obanikoro in this room. Give us an idea of how the room was.
Wore white and this Yoruba cap, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And he was sitting on a chair. The Minister of Police Affairs wore pink and white shorts, shadow too, with Yoruba cap. He was standing.
Okay.
Omishore was sitting down on the carpet.
On the carpet? On the floor?
Myself, you know, we are military guys. Myself, my commander, any other person, we were standing, you know, listening to them and talking to them.
What about Fayose?
Fayose was sitting beside Obanikoro, but sometimes, you know, he got himself angry and he would go out and come in. He would go out and come in, but he's always sitting, you know, near Obanikoro.
What was he wearing? Do you remember what Fayose was wearing?
In a polo shirt, blue with red stripes.
That day. Wow, fantastic. Yeah. That's very interesting. So, what election is coming up in Nigeria and that we should be wrapping up at this time? What would you say to your fellow officers who are going to be part of the next election, which of course we've heard is going to be postponed? You know, what are you hearing from your colleague, being an intelligence officer, about the upcoming 2015 election?
Especially my coursemate, I'm being a member of 32 course. I will advise my coursemate, because we are rugged, I will advise my coursemate, my colleague and other officers to be professional, apolitical, and they should have patriotism in their mind and carry out their duty militarily.
And what would that duty be?
Sorry?
What would that duty be? You know, if they ask them to rig election, they should say no. Or what do they do? How do they handle their commanders when they give them orders?
Yeah, they should say this is not a part of our constitutional responsibility. They should make it clear. They should tell the commander. Then he should know that what he's doing is wrong, and maybe probably what had happened to General Momo and Mina will happen again. I think that can make them to shift back.
Yes. Let's ask you, have they done anything to you officially? Have they fired you? Have they declared you a war? Did they stop your salary?
Yeah, they stopped my salary. Ordinarily, they have to book me on a wall, but now I should be on a wall.
But you don't know.
No, I should be on a wall. That is the general rule.
Yes. If you have a chance to go back to Nigeria, would you be willing to testify against this man, say, if there's a trial for this criminal collusion of subversion of democracy?
What stops me from doing that? To make sure that my country is governed well.
Yes. Well, Captain Sagir Koli, we want to thank you very much for coming on our show today on Sahara TV. As you can tell, a lot of people are very, very respectful of what you did for your country before you eventually fled. And we're aware that you're in hiding, and we know how inconvenient it is for you to have even come on our show today. But you should rest assured that for doing your country proud, you'll be remembered well by history. We want to thank you once again for coming on our show on Sahara TV. And we'll be in touch as things go on. I'm sure you have very important perspectives that you can share with us and your colleagues and the Nigerian populace in general about how to achieve free and fair election without this kind of, almost very criminal military intervention and influence.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You have this as the INEC jacket. You have this as INEC stamp. And you have this as stamps that is currently in use. And what is curious about this issue is that you cannot claim that 2014 stamp is a waste material. Is it? So here we are. But then we have a limit to this issue. I'm saying this because my colleagues, the state security services, they are here, who will determine where this advanced before you originated from and the destination. But I want to assure you that my men are everywhere to see that the incoming election is free and fair. We are not going to take anything for granted. Actually, we have almost 10 days to go, but we are already on the ground. And that's to send a strong warning to those troubleshooters that we are ready to match them west to west and arms to arms. But then, gentlemen, please convey to them that we are not here to harass, to embarrass anybody. We are here to keep the peace, to make sure Ekiti people, life and property is secure throughout the period of the election. Those who are harboring hoodlums, and I bet you will get them out, and I've given the order to my men that whoever is caught with weapons or any offensive weapons against the state will be brought down. That's a straight message to everybody, irrespective of his party. We are neutral and we stand as such. Any question, please?
Where you work? My name is Mwadi.
Yes.
I'm the bureau chief for the Southwest Guardian newspaper.
Okay, please. Well, to me, I'm a commander on the ground. I will not tell you, because telling you means exposing my flanks. Oh, we want to know every movement, every material moving must be seen to be escorted by security agents. And instead, it's immaterial. What you want to know, you want to see everything moving in the right direction.
Again, sir.
Yes. You can interview them.
All right.
And get the best out of them for some few minutes. Then we'll take them in.
And be able to ascertain
Yes.
that these are actually the limits.
Where is the other one? The one you tear. You see, this is 2000. If it's a waste material, this is 2008. It was closed, and 2009 was put there. Do you understand what I'm saying now? But this is what we can see visually, and the limit with which this thing can go. If we see 2011 again, and other things coming up, then we have a stamp here that is 2014. You see, it's contradictory. Yes. So when we are in this situation, we have specialists that will now hand over the materials to them. They will look at it critically and they will make their reports to the appropriate authority. Any other? Our channel of communication. Okay. When we hand over to the SS will finish and inform us. And their report goes to so many higher authority that they will act accordingly. We have done for the breathing sake, which I'm doing now. So whether they are genuine, whether they are fake, whether the various dates that we have seen is in consonant with INEC regulation, I'm not an INEC official. They will call them and they will testify. Sir, out. Do we? So you go there, it's constitutional for you to have what? Voting card, which the INEC has just issued of recent. So that is what we are expecting every individual to hold. Anything short of that, we will not accept it.
Sir.
I will not tell you.
Okay, sir. Let us
But I want to assure you that we have enough men on the ground. We are already deployed around the state. You should know. We have been here for some time now. We have been seeing us moving about. So the issue of strength is not there, but the capability and the effectiveness of my men is guaranteed.
So, Oluwafemi Ose. Oluwafemi Ose. Oluwafemi Ose. Your own, sorry, your own. Hold on. Oluwasegun. Segun what? I can be. You? Beyond Folami. Okay, from where? From Abeokuta. You are from where? Abeokuta. You are from where? So, who are you working for?
I work for IK for Lagos.
IK.
For that one company for Lagos. Lakasera.
Yes, sir. Okay. What do you?
Sahara TV watchers and listeners, you have been with me talking to Captain Sagir Koli, who was the intelligence officer who recorded this secret meeting where a minister in Nigeria, a governor, a police, 2 ministers, and 1 politician met with a bunch of military officers to rig the election in Ekiti State in June 2014. That election was won by Governor Ayo Fayose, but we are now finding out that it wasn't a free and fair election. It was completely systematically rigged with the help of the military. As we speak now, for your information, there are attempts to shift the upcoming Nigerian general elections that was supposed to be next week, February, till March. I'm hearing that the first one now is supposed to be March 8th, and the one after that will be 2 weeks later in April. So we're monitoring events for you, so we want you to stay tuned to Sahara TV as we bring you the best, the most powerful information about what is going on in Nigeria in general and how the elections are going to come down. So stay tuned on Sahara TV, and our colleagues will take over from here. Thank you.